Hey guys, welcome to my live. We are on live on Instagram and Facebook. How's everybody doing today? So for those who are just tuning in, if this is your first time watching one of my live streams or live videos, hey there, as you come on, go ahead and put in the comments what your business is and where you're located. So that way, as people come on, they can connect with you. So go ahead and put your business and where you're located in the comments. So I am Shatoya Antwine. I'm the owner and event planner at A La Carte Galore. So I help entrepreneurs plan, coordinate, and execute signature events that help scale their businesses. So I am not your typical event planner, because when you typically hire an event planner, you're hiring them to pretty much take all of the stress off of your plate when it comes to planning an event for your business, right? So you're just making sure that your event planner is literally planning everything for you, that they are executing a flawless event for you. And all you have to do is show up, and they're doing all the decor and the planning and all the hard stuff that, gives you a headache, right? So here's the thing that I've noticed. A lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of influencers and thought leaders and small business owners, they have decided to start planning their own events because they feel as though it is not within their budget to hire an event planner, right? So everyone's out here DIYing their events, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. The issue is that a lot of entrepreneurs are DIYing their events and they have no idea what they're doing. They have no strategies in place. They have no foundation. They're pretty much just winging it. And a lot of entrepreneurs are just looking at what everybody else is doing for their events, and they're trying to do the same for theirs. And the problem is, it's not working. So what somebody else is doing for their event may not be the same thing that you need to be doing for your event, right? So my goal is to teach you guys the strategies and tools that I use for my clients who are hosting not only successful events, but also profitable events, and many clients are selling out their events. So I had a client who had an event this past weekend. She booked me for a strategy session, and she sold out her event, and her event was profitable, right? So my main focus is to make sure that you have a successful and profitable event, but also making sure that you're hosting events that are, one, going to increase your profits, also going to increase your visibility, and also going to increase your credibility, right? So we all want to make more money within our businesses, and events is one way to be able to do that. We all need to be more visible, whether it's online or within our industry. And in order for us to be more visible, we have to have an event marketing plan. And a lot of entrepreneurs have no idea what that is. They think that they can just host an event and just go ahead and post it on Instagram, on Facebook, and Twitter, and think that that's going to sell their event out. And that is not what an event marketing plan is. Another thing is entrepreneurs don't have a profit plan. So that's actually what we're going to talk about here today. So why you need an event profit plan and how you are going to create one. So hey Jazz, events, and they aren't making any money from it, and they can't figure out why. So first things first is you need to have a profit plan. If you have no idea how much money you want to make from your event, then how are you going to make it, and how are you going to create strategies to ensure that you do make it, right? Thank you, Jazz. So here's the thing. A lot of people are getting confused with having a revenue goal and then having a profit plan. So they are not the same thing. So does anybody know what the difference is between a profit plan and revenue goals? You actually need both. So you can't just have one. So first you need to start off with revenue goals. So creating revenue goals is basically how much money do you want to make from your event. So let's say you want to make $5,000 from your event, that's going to be your revenue goal. That isn't necessarily your profit, right? So you want to make $5,000 in revenue. So what's revenue? So revenue can come from your ticket sales. It can come from people purchasing vendor tables for your event. It can come from sponsorships. People have booked sponsorships with you, paid sponsorships, and you're getting revenue from that. Another stream of revenue is ads. So maybe you're doing a booklet or some type of magazine or a handout or a pamphlet that you're giving out at your event, and you are allowing people to purchase ad space in the booklet or the magazine or whatever physical product that you're giving out, right? So those are some examples of revenue goals. So just because you make the $5,000 in sales or in revenue doesn't mean that's what you're going to take home, right? So we know what our revenue goals are. We're setting it at $5,000. We know how we're going to make the $5,000 from the ticket sales, sponsorships, vendor tables, and ad space. So those are 4 ways that we're going to make our $5,000. Now, how much money do you want to walk away with? So like I said, just because you make the $5,000 doesn't mean that's what you walk away with. So this is where the profit plan comes into play. So now that you have created revenue goals, now you can go ahead and begin to focus on your profit plan. So what is a profit plan? So your profit plan includes your revenue, which we just discussed, minus all of your expenses. So once all of your expenses are paid, then that's what you get to walk away with. That's what your profit is for your event. So what are your expenses? Your expenses are everything that is going to cost you or everything that you have to purchase in order to put this event on. So typically one of the biggest expenses is the venue. So the venue space is one of the biggest expenses. And one thing I do with my clients who book strategy sessions is I give them strategies to make sure that they are able to get lower costs for their venues. And some of them have actually used my strategies and they've been able to book venues for free. So making sure that you know what your expenses are. So that includes booking for the venue. That includes speaker fees. So if you're going to have speakers at your event, then most likely you're going to have to pay them, right? So sometimes you can, have certain strategies in place where you aren't specifically or you aren't specifically paying them, but they're being compensated in another way. So speaker fees is one. Your branding collateral. So that goes for your logo, anything that you're getting printed, any step and repeat banners, any retractable banners, things like that are considered brand collateral. If you are getting a website developed for your event, which you should, or even if you have one and you need it to be updated, then that is another expense. So literally whatever you're spending to put this event on, then that's an expense. I don't care if you go and buy name tags or pens or something that you think is really, really small and it doesn't really need to be included in the profit plan, include it in the profit plan. If you go spend $3 at the dollar store, put it in your plan so you have all your expenses and making sure that you're tracking them, right? If you're doing decor, you have to figure out what's your budget for decor. How much are you willing to spend for decor? Do you even really need decor? So depending on what your venue space is, that can kind of help you to gauge what your budget is specifically for your decor. Another thing is gift bags. So if you're doing gift bags, that's something that needs to be included in your expenses as well. So even if someone books a sponsorship package, let's say they booked a $1,000 sponsorship package and your venue costs $5,000. That doesn't mean that neither of them needs to be included in your plan because they're essentially kind of paid for already. They still need to be accounted for. So you have your revenue at $1,000 and you have your venue at $1,000. So technically they net to zero, but you still need to be tracking it. So if you don't have a profit plan, there's obviously some consequences for it, right? And you've probably seen some things that are happening with events, and it's probably a result of them not having a profit plan. So one, if you don't have a profit plan, chances are you are either not going to make money from your event or you're going to struggle to make money from your event because you don't even know what you're striving for, right? Another thing is if you don't have an event profiting plan, you're typically going to lose out on money because you have no way of tracking what it costs for you to be able to put this event on, right? Another thing is if you don't have a profit plan or if it's not strategic and well thought out, then you may just break even. So honestly, breaking even is better than losing money. But if you're putting a lot of work into planning an event, so let's say when I do conferences, I give myself a minimum of 3 months to plan. So who wants to spend a minimum of 3 months putting all that work in to plan a successful event, and then you just walk away with nothing? You walk away with a great event, but you haven't really made any money for your business, right? So another thing, if you don't have a profit plan, you'll see people who are canceling their event, they're rescheduling their event because one, they've struggled to fill seats for their event, and I did a live stream on that. You can head over to my Facebook page to watch the replay. So if you're struggling to get butts and seats, struggling to fill seats for your event, then chances are, one, you don't have a well thought out profit plan, but most importantly, if you're struggling to fill seats for your event, you don't have an event marketing plan, and we'll talk about that this week as well. And the last thing, if you don't have a event profit plan, you're probably going to dig yourself into a lot of debt, right? So here's the thing, a lot of entrepreneurs are saying, well, it's my first event, I don't really care if I make any money, or this is my passion, I don't really care if I make any money from it. If you are a business owner, then you are in business to make money, right? You're also in business to make an impact. You're in business to serve a specific community, a specific audience, a specific industry. Absolutely correct. But if you have a business, you still have to make money. If you just want to throw events for the fun of it and just give all your energy and time, hobby. So if you are a business owner, it is very important that you create an event profit plan when you are creating events, right? So does anybody have any questions before I move on? So Jazz says this is good information. Thank you. And you're trying to relaunch your business now. Awesome. Are you doing a relaunch party, Jazz? So, you have any intentions on having a relaunch party at all? You can just put it in the comments. I'll go ahead and move on until you type it in. So here's the thing that I want you guys to take away from this is I want you to make sure that you are creating. That's the plan. Awesome. So let me know if you need any assistance with that. So the 3 things I want you guys to take away is, 1, make sure that you are creating revenue goals and being very specific with your revenue goals. Don't just say you want to make $5,000, you want to make $10,000, you want to make $500, whatever your amount is. Don't just pick an amount. Also figure out what those streams are going to be in order for you to be able to meet your revenue goal. Secondly, once you figure out what your revenue goal is, now it's time to start digging in and creating an event profit plan, right? Once you've done that, now it's time to make sure that you're tracking your profit plan. So just because you create it doesn't necessarily mean that, oh, I created this profit plan, I have budgeted what my expenses are going to be, I have budgeted what I expect to receive in revenue. So this is just kind of an estimate. You still have to track it so that it can be your actuals, right? So don't just create a plan and leave it and wonder why, what you're doing or what's happening for your event doesn't match with your plan. You have to track it so that it can match. You're creating that foundation of creating a plan and then tracking it to make sure that you're achieving what you set out for that plan, okay? So make sure you know your revenue goals, make sure you create your profit plan, and make sure that you track your profit plan. So when I do my profit plans, I do them in Excel, and for some clients, I actually help them to create their profit plan, so actually doing it for them, and we do that through the strategy session. So if you want specifically like to pick my brain, or if you want to just sit down and chat, you have no idea where to start for your event, you have questions on how to sell out your event, you have questions on creating an event marketing plan, things like that, you can head over to my website, which is alacartegalore.com. And for the profit plans, you can go under strategy session. So my strategy session and profit plans are under the same thing. And then if you want an event marketing plan created, that's on there too. So I literally create the whole event marketing plan for you. I create it, I give it to you, and then you have it to begin to start executing, right? So event marketing plans take a lot of work, and I think a lot of times entrepreneurs try to do it by themselves, and they kind of get discouraged from it, and they struggle with event marketing. So I do create event marketing plans, so that is on there. And here's the good thing about the event marketing plans, even the strategy sessions too. So when I create an event marketing plan for you, you can use that for other events. So if you have a signature event, you can use that same plan for the next event. You may have to tweak it a little bit, but for the most part, you can keep reusing that. So that's why I'm here to actually teach you guys the strategies and tools that I use, because I know some people don't have it in their budget to hire an event planner, or some people just actually like to plan their events themselves, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. So those are the resources that I have available for you guys. So you can go to my website, alacartegalore.com. If you want to do any trainings, I have 3 free trainings. It costs you nothing to sign up for, and I've had people who have signed up and watched and took notes from the free trainings, and they actually were able to use the strategies that I put in there to actually launch an event. So I encourage you guys to use it as a starting point. So just click the link in my bio if you're on Instagram. If you're on Facebook, I have it in the caption. So that is all that I have for you guys. So for the month of January, I will be going live Monday through Thursday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure that you turn on your notifications so that you don't miss anything. I'm going to be giving out a ton of strategies, tools, and resources to get you guys started so that you can begin to plan your events for 2018. So having an event for this new year is non-negotiable. Like, if you are a business owner, you're hosting an event and I'm helping you, and you have all these resources and tools that I'm giving you now. And if you need additional help, just go ahead and shoot me an email, or you can hop in my DM and I'll respond and see how I can help you guys. So that is all that I have for you guys tonight. I will see you tomorrow at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Have a good night.